Back to our top story now. Thousands of people are protesting new restrictions to contain the surge of coronavirus infections in Vienna and across Europe. On Friday, the Austrian government announced a 20-day lockdown and mandatory vaccinations. To find out how effective these restrictions are, let's speak to Dr. Bharat Pankania from Manchester in the UK. He's a senior clinical lecturer at the University of Exeter Medical School. So, Dr. Pankania, what do you think? As we see these restrictions imposed, is it enough? Is it soon enough?
It's definitely not soon enough, because the failure in Austria and in other countries is acting slowly, allowing things not to be in control, and then suddenly, as a panic measure, the chancellor in Austria has had, I must emphasize, forced to introduce a 20-day shutdown as well as mandatory vaccines. Both of those are indications of acting too late and then having to act in a panicked manner.
So is this the first we're seeing of what could be a global new wave of coronavirus infections?
I hope not, because European Union, United States are heavily immunized, and therefore, whilst we may get cases, we won't get that surge in hospitalizations. What is of much concern is Africa still remains unimmunized. What we are seeing in Europe and northern countries now as winter approaches is changes in behavior, i.e. it's cold, so people move indoors. And also there's that fatigue of politicians leading us to believe it's all over. So people stop wearing masks, taking all those basic, simple precautions. And of course, one more thing, which is slightly declining immunity further to Europe, having started the immunization process first and earlier.
So, doctor, let's say you're out there, you're fully vaccinated, maybe you've even had a booster shot, maybe even more than that. Should you feel the need to still take precautions because it's spreading?
Very good question. And the simple answer is yes, absolutely. Because you take precautions to protect yourself, as well as you take precautions not to infect other people, especially if they are vulnerable. It is a multi-layered operation. The thing about coronavirus is many people are infectious, without any signs and symptoms, even if you are fully immunized. And therefore, we should take precautions.
We heard some estimates from officials in the last week or two saying that because there are still so many unvaccinated people out there, and some of these countries have still abysmally low rates, that this next wave could lead to something like 500,000 more deaths. Do you think that's possible?
It is entirely possible, and that's a World Health Organization estimate. What we've got to do is suppress cases, because even if you are fully immunized and you are vulnerable, your immunity may decline. And if you have a lot of cases, a lot of viruses floating around in the air, aerosol spread, you can get infected, you can end up ill, and unfortunately, some people will die.
Yeah, I feel like that's why it's so worrisome when you go somewhere or you see video of people just acting like there's nothing going on. Makes me feel very nervous. But doctor, it's always great to have you on. Thanks for being the voice of reason.
Thank you.